Done. Started.
Yeah, thank you. Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Uvajjayanam, Namo Loe Savasahunam. Mangalam Bhagavan Viro, Mangalam Gautamo Gani, Mangalam Kunda Kundadyo, Jaina Dharmostu Mangalam. Sarva Mangala Mangalyam, Sarva Kalyana Karakam, Pradhanam Sarva Dharmanam, Jainam Jaitu Shashanam, Jainam Jaitu Shashanam, Jainam Jaitu Shashanam. So I am now in Sikharji, Samet Sikharji, and there is a network issue here. So I will be on audio only. I will not put on my video on. So you will be just listening to the lecture. Uh, so that day we were continuing. We started with 12 wishful reflections, the last chapter of Vitrag Vigyan 1. And we started this chapter and the first two bhavna. What exactly is reflection, or another good for that is contemplation, and in Hindi, of course, we call it as bhavna or anupreksha. So our Jain scriptures use the word bhavna or anupreksha for contemplation, which means repeated reflection and deep thinking about the said topic. In order to get to the crux of any subject, analyzing it deeply is mandatory. Contemplation of the subject allows one to understand it entirely, making it easier to enter the state of pure meditation and experience indeterminate sensation, means nirvikalp anubhuti. So if you want to manifest nirvikalp anubhuti, we have to contemplate. Contemplate means deep, uh, deep thinking and repeated reflections or contemplations. So whenever you understand any topic, then whenever you understand any topic clearly, then of course your thoughts follows your thoughts follows that topic, particular topic or the concept, and that is how you contemplate. And by repeated contemplation and reflections, you ultimately come to a decision about that thing which you are contemplating right now. So every decision is preceded by contemplation. So the first part is the reading of the scriptures. After reading, if you have properly understood or you have properly analyzed, then this contemplation follows. And once the contemplation follows, then you arrive at the right decision. So this is the process that everyone goes through who gets enlightenment in this life. Our all the monks or the Muni Raj, they practice this contemplation quite regularly. Initially, when they are initiated into monkhood, they contemplate this bara bhavana, and when there is natural calamity, parisha, or the upsarg, the torture, at that point of time also uh, they think on this 12 contemplations. So this is a very useful tool for Bhed Vigyan or the discriminative knowledge. So this 12 reflections or 12 contemplations is nothing but a process of Bhed Vigyan. And this is a, this particular chapter is a very at very elementary level, but we are going to study this deeply in a separate subject in the coming semesters. So we have uh, understood two things. One is the Anitya Bhavna, and the second one is Asharan Bhavna. Anitya Bhavna is contemplation about impermanence of the world or about the transitoriness of this world. So uh, that we discussed last week. The second one is Asharana Bhavana. No one can provide protection to anybody. So under this, we had studied that there are only two kinds of shelters in this world. From the spiritual point of view or the real point of view, our own pure soul is our refugee. And from the external point of view, the five Parmeshthis are our refugee. This creature, due to delusion, regards other object as his refugee. But there is no way that any other substance can give protections to any other substance. All are very independent. They functions independently. They function independently, and nobody can provide protection or nobody can destroy any other substance. So this is what nature of substance tells us, and we have to accept those universal truth, and then only we can rightly understand these 12 contemplations. The third one in the sequence is Sansar Bhavana. In English, we call it meaninglessness of all the attachments or the worldly existence. So first I would like to read the Hindi one, and then I will read the English meaning. This is all given in our textbook. So the first one, Sansar. पर द्रव्यन ते प्रीति जो है संसार अबोध, ताको फल कति चार में भ्रमण कयो सुत शोध। पर द्रव्यन्ते प्रीति जो. So what does that mean? Preeti means attraction. So from the real point of view, the attraction towards uh, non-soul substances or the other substances in terms of producing sentiments like delusions, attachments, and aversions is is sansar according to the real point of view. And because of this, uh, soul suffers misery in all four states of existence. So, what is written in the textbook? From the spiritual point of view, delusions, attachments, and aversions constitute the world. But uh, here, particularly in this context, sansar means worldly association. Okay, worldly association. So, from the spiritual point of view, delusions, attachment, and aversions constitute the world. On account of these inclinations, living beings wander about in the four phases of life or four states of existence. So, this is about sansar bhavna. Fourth one, ekatva bhavna, oneness or the solitude of the soul. From the spiritual point of view or the real point of view, our soul is only consciousness. Ekatva sarvatra sundar. So everything who, every substance who are on its own is very beautiful. But when it mixes with another substance, then the impurities rise. So from the real point of view or the spiritual point of view, soul is only consciousness. Karma being indifferent cause or the instrumental cause of different manifestation, soul assumes different alternates. So karmas are the instrumental cause, and because of that, different kinds of soul assumes different kinds of manifestations and different kinds of alternates. Complete liberation is attained after getting rid of these inclinations. So, about this ekatva bhavana, परमार्थ ते आत्मा एक रूप ही जो कर्म निमित्त विकल्प गने तीने नाश शिव होय. So Paramartha or the spiritual point of view, our soul is only of one kind of nature, which is called consciousness. So this soul comes alone in this world, takes birth alone in this world, and then moves away from this world also alone. There is nobody who can accompany you. There is no person can accompany you. Uh, Even your body also cannot accompany you, and the surroundings that you live in, those surroundings also does not come with you. Soul comes all alone and goes away all alone. So this kind of contemplation is ekatva bhavana. This is about the one. Now we move on to the next one, anyatva bhavana. So ekatva bhavana and anyatva bhavana. These two are opposites. These two are opposites. Separateness of the soul or the separateness only. First, I would write. First, I would read the Hindi one. अपने अपने सत्व को सर्व वस्तु विलसाय, ऐसे चिंतुए जीव तब, परते ममत न थाय. Every substance develops in its own existence. None is the creator or destroyer of the other. When a living being reflects like this, he does not develop attachment for worldly objects and beings. अपने अपने सत्व को सत्व means existence. So every substance exists in its own existence. Every substance develops in its own substance. When a soul reflects like this or contemplate like this, ऐसे चिंतवे जीव तब परते ममत न थाय. When a living being reflects like this or contemplates like this, he does not develop attachment for worldly objects and beings. So this was about Anyatva Bhavana. Then we come to the sixth.
Sir, can you explain how Ekatva and Anyatva are different? Because both, can you explain that one time? You said they're opposite.
Ekatva, yeah,
They're
Ekatva, one minute, huh? I'll just explain you. So the main idea of Ekatva Bhavana is to throw light on the fact that in sickness or health, birth or death, happiness or sadness, no one is able to give company. Means all the substance are alone. There is no way that anybody can give company to any other substance. So this is the real nature of each substance, not only soul, but all the six substances in this universe. They exist independently of one another. And that is the beauty of the thing, that there is no way that you can get attached to any other substance. So you may believe that your body is yours, the possessions are yours, you may believe, but it never happens of yours. It remains different only. So this is about the Ekatva Bhavana. It is just not possible to share the pain or sorrow, nor to distribute happiness or joy to others. But in this worldly existence, the ignorant soul builds many relations and that imagines that he and his kin will be able to forfeit any misfortune together. But in-depth reflections reveals that such a task is opposite to the nature of things and the nature of the universe. साथ देने की कोई व्यवस्था नहीं है. प्रत्येक पदार्थ अपने अपने में अपना अस्तित्व बनाए रखता है. कोई भी किसी में मिक्सअप नहीं होता. कोई भी किसी में मिक्सअप नहीं होता. So this is what Ekatva Bhavana is all about. And Anyatva Bhavana states that every substance is different. There cannot be oneness with anybody. So basically, Ekatva and Anyatva are two sides of the same coin.
But sir, they are saying the same thing, no? That we are going to be a individual, you are going to be alone. In Anyatva also that is the same thing, and Ekatva also that is the same thing, right?
So Ekatva states it positively that you cannot mix up with any other substances. And Anyatva says that every substance stays different only, they don't mix up. So the angle from the perspective from which they want to say is different.
Okay. And any example of this? Of Anyatva Bhavana? Because if you ask us and if we have to select which one, it will be
1 minute. I'll just Ekatva Bhavana says that the soul is alone in these worldly miseries, alone in his quest for liberation, and alone in his journey from a seeker to Siddha. From first stage of spiritual development to the 14th stage of spiritual development, soul is alone everywhere. This Ekatva is not a curse, but it's a boon. It is the true nature of the soul, and contemplating on it results in stoppage and dissociation of karmas, allowing the soul to completely enjoy his eternal bliss. So this is what Ekatva Bhavana is all about. And the Anyatva Bhavana. So the contemplation of Anyatva Bhavana states that each soul is distinct and separate from all other worldly things, possessions, and relations. The main idea of Ekatva Bhavana was to establish the solitude of the soul, and Anyata Bhavana tells the same thing negatively. So one says it positively, Ekatva Bhavana says it positively, and Anyata Bhavana tells the same thing negatively by showing its separateness with the external other things. So now I think you can make out the differentiation between the Ekatva Bhavana and the Anyatva Bhavana. Right? So in simple language, Ekatva Bhavana says that every substance is develops or is alone in this world, and Anyatva Bhavana says the same thing negatively, and it says every other object is separate from the other objects. All are individually different. So the contemplation of Anyatva Bhavana fuels the discriminative knowledge, Bhed Vigyan. Both Ekatva Bhavana also and Anyatva Bhavana also, both helps in establishing discriminative knowledge, allowing one to clearly see his separateness with the body, and going a step further, separateness from the material karma as well as transient feeling based karmas. So bhav karma, no karma, and dravya karma. This soul is different from all this type of karma, whether it is dravya karma or bhav karma or the no karma. This allows one to understand and experience the pure nature of the soul. So ekatva bhavna and anyatva bhavna. Then we come to the sixth one, asuchi bhavna. So first I would like to read from the textbook, the Hindi part. निर्मल अपनी आत्मा देह अपावन गे जानी भव्य निज भाव को या सो तजो स्नेह. Impurity of the body. This contemplation is about the impurity of the body. Our soul is perfectly pure. The body, however, is very impure. As such, the learned preceptors have ordained us to look into ourselves and not to indulge in any sort of attachment for this impure body. So Asuchi Bhavana states that our soul is pure, but our body is impure. So we need to identify the nature of ourselves, and then we could discriminate between a soul and a body. Soul is a conscious body. It has got consciousness. Body has got no consciousness. Body is purely a matter, and soul is a living being. So these two are absolutely different. And Asuchi Bhavana states that our soul is absolutely pure, but our body is impure. So one should not get attracted to the body. That is what Asuchi Bhavana is all about. Our soul is perfectly pure. The body, however, is very impure. As such, the learned perceptors have ordained us to look into ourselves. So we should focus on ourselves. We should look into ourselves. We should indulge in ourselves and not to indulge in any sort of attachment with this impure body. So two different things. There is no correlation. Each is independent. So we should not get attracted to our body or form an attachment with our body. On the contrary, body and soul are two different entities, and we should discriminate between the two. Then only we can experience ourselves. We can experience the soul. We can experience the purity of the soul. So this completes the first 6 set of 12 contemplations, and this first 6 contemplation helps us to uh, you know distracts us from the pleasures of the 5 senses or the body or the worldly associations. That day I told you about संसार शरीर और भोगों से विरक्त करती है. ये प्रथम की 6 भावना है, संसार शरीर और भोगों से विरक्त करती है. So संसार is worldly association, शरीर is body, and bhogo is the pleasures of the five senses. So, these six types of contemplations, the first six type of contemplations, they actually helps us to discriminate uh, between the soul and the body, Jeev and Ajeev. So this first six bhavana uh, explains the first two elements, Jeev and Ajeev. And the next six contemplations uh, states the other five elements. Mm, So we have seen a stepwise increase in detachment through first six contemplation. Now we move on to the next six contemplation, which throws light upon the nature of elements, the nature of the universe, and the rarity of the true path of liberation. And uh, the seventh, number seven, we start with the number seven, that is Asrav Bhavana, or the influx of karma. आत्म केवल ज्ञानमय निश्चय दृष्टि निहार सब विभाव परिणाममय आश्रव भाव विडार. Spiritually, our soul is all consciousness. Impure modification of the soul are influx feelings which are to be annihilated. So what is this impure modification? This impure modification is about the delusion, attachments and aversions and all kinds of passions. Spiritually, our soul is all consciousness. Impure modification of the soul are influx feelings which are to be annihilated. It has to be destroyed. It is not good for us. We get indulged in that and bind new karmas. But the enlightened soul always discriminates between the soul and the influx, and he knows that my soul is quite different from the influx of the karmas, and there is among no direct relation among these two. Uh, we move on to the next one. Samvar Bhavana, number 8. Samvar Bhavana. निज स्वरूप में लीनता निश्चय संवर जानी समिति गुप्ति संजम धर्म धरे पाप की हानि. Samvar is stoppage of influx. To be deeply engrossed in our spiritual existence alone is real stoppage of influx. It is associated with careful functioning of the senses, mental, vocal, and bodily restraints, and abstinence, with the help of which sins are washed off. So, Samiti, ki when a monk moves from one place to another place, he always follows these 5 kinds of samiti: Iriya Samiti, Esna Samiti, Adan Nikshepan Samiti, and there are other 2 names are there. So these are the 5 kind of samitis. Then we have 3 Gupti, right? Man, Vachan, Kai, and then we have Sanyam. Sanjam is called Sanyam, and Sanyam is abstinence. So when the soul takes refuge in itself and attains a deep introspective meditative state called Shuddhopyog, the influx of new karma stops. Sorry, 7, 8. Okay. So this was I'm talking about Samvar Bhavana. And yeah, we were discussing Samvar Bhavana only. Next is Nirjara Bhavana, but now this is all about Samvar Bhavana. So Samvar is basically stoppage of influx. Uh, so when the soul takes refuge in itself and attains a deep introspective meditative state, Shuddhopyog, the influx of new karma stops, which is known as Samvar. Tatvat in the scriptures, Tatvat Sutra, it mentions the following as the causes of stoppage or the Samvar: 3 hidden woes called Gupti, 5 types of vigilance called Samiti, 10 religious virtues called Dharma, thus Dharma, then 12 contemplations, then 22 types of win over adversities or the calamities called Parisha, and then there is 5 types of conduct called Charitra. So these are all the instrument for stoppage of influx. What are these 6 things are there? One is Gupti, the second one is Samiti, the third one is Das Lakshan Dharma, the fourth one is Bara Bhavana or 12 contemplations, and the fifth one is Bais Parisha or the calamities, and the last one is 5 types of conduct or charitra. So these are all the instruments for stoppage of influx according to Tatvat Sutra Granth. The main theme of this Samvar Bhavana is to promote discriminative knowledge or the Ved Vigyan, thereby experiencing one's pure blissful soul. And this leads to true happiness. So this was all about the Samvar Bhavana. Now we move on to the Nirjara Bhavana. So this Bhavana means contemplations. So before actually Samvar taking place, uh, this Bhavana presides those. Similarly, we have Nirjara Bhavana. The 9th one, संवरमय है आत्मा, पूर्व कर्म जड़ जाए, निज स्वरूप को पाय कर, लोक सिकर सब जाए. सो क्या कहना चाहते हैं इधर निर्जरा भावना में? ज्ञान स्वभावी आत्मा ही संवरमय है, उसके आश्रय से ही पूर्वपार्जित कर्मों का नाश होता है और यह आत्मा अपने स्वभाव को प्राप्त होता है. So the samvar was stoppage of influx and nirjara is dissociation of karma. The karma which are attached with the soul from a long time gets dissociated because of nirjara. Our knowing soul alone is our object of attainment, by reliance whereof all the old impurities of merits and demerits are annihilated, and the soul attains its inherent nature. So all those karmas get dissociated from the soul by this nirjara bhavana, by practicing this nirjara bhavana. Next in the sequence is lok bhavana. लोक स्वरूप विचारी के आत्म रूप निहार परमार्थ व्यवहार गुणी मिथ्या भाव निवारी. Lok is universe. Contemplation about the nature of universe is the 10th one. Considering over the functions of the 6 substances of this universe. लोक स्वरूप विचार के आत्म रूप निहार. We should merge ourselves with our soul. So on one side is our soul, and on the other side is all the other 6 substances. All the souls apart from me are non-soul for me. Understanding the spiritual as well as the material aspects of living, we should destroy inclination towards wrong faith. So the sentiments of aversion and attachment is the actual sansar that the soul suffers through. The worldly existence or the external sansar is quite different from the soul. 11th one is Bodhi Durlabh Bhavana. Bodhi means right belief, right knowledge, and the right conduct. Combination of all these 3 is Bodhi Durlabh. Bodhi आपका भाव है, निश्चय दुर्लभ नाम, भाव में प्राप्ति कठिन है, यह व्यवहार का. Knowledge and the perceptual sentience. Consciousness is the attribute of the soul. It is not at all difficult to achieve. It is from the material external point of view that it has been called uncommon or difficult to achieve. So, from the consciousness point of view or the only from the material or the external point of view, it has been called uncommon or difficult to achieve. So, when the nature of soul is our own, how can it be difficult for us to achieve it? So it is very simple. very easy to achieve or to realize oneself. So this was the 11th one. Now we come to the last one, Dharma Bhavana, nature of true religion and its importance. दर्शन ज्ञानमय चेतना आत्म धर्म बखानी दया समाधिक रत्न त्रय या में गर्भित जानी। आत्मा का स्वभाव ज्ञान दर्शनमय है। दया क्षमा आदि 10 धर्म अहिंसा और रत्नत्रय सब इसमें ही गर्भित हो जाते हैं। Our soul is a mass of consciousness and perceptual sentience. आत्मा का स्वभाव ज्ञान दर्शनमय है। Its 10 forms of compassion, forgiveness, दया क्षमा आदि 10 धर्म, its 10 forms of compassion, forgiveness, etc., and the 3 gems of right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct are all indivisible parts of our soul. So, Dharma Bhavana. Last one is Dharma Bhavana. So, what is the actual true nature of the soul? This religion is actual the true nature of the soul. वस्तु स्वभाव धम्मो, वस्तु का स्वभाव ही धर्म है. So when you want to achieve religion, you understand vastu ka swabhav. You have to understand this, the nature of vastu swabhav dhammo, vastu ka swabhav, the nature of the substance. And when we take refuge in this nature of substance, we manifest religion in our modifications. So these are the 12 contemplations, and even the monks, they do Bara Bhavana every day, and this is nothing but uh, a sequence wise cause of discriminative knowledge. It's a very enjoyable kind of concept, and you will enjoy it further when we read about this book by Dr. Bharilji on the Bara Bhavana. This is only the one we are looking at, only Jaichandji Chabda's Bara Bhavana, but when we study the whole book, there are around 20 to 25 Bara Bhavanas of different authors and the lecturers and the masters. And if you go to read all these things, and plus there is a critical analysis, very good analysis of Dr. Bharilji. I like some of the works of Dr. Bharilji very much, and Bara Bhavana is one of those things which you can reflect it to yourself every day, every now and then. So this 12 contemplations comes to an end, and this is also the end of our paper 1, part 1, and then we have something as self-study also, and that is, I think, Namokar Mantra. Everyone has got this book of Namokar Mantra. So paper 1 constitutes of Vitrag Vigyan part 1 and this book on Namokar Mantra, and it's just a collection of small stories. The famous story of Karodpati Rikshawala, that is also included in this Namokar Maha Mantra. So you have got this book, all of you have got this book physically, Namokar Maha Mantra. Everyone has ordered, everyone has paid the fees.
Jay Jinendra?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I have made the payment of the fees, and there was a link which was shared.
Okay.
Yeah, and I had submitted that link informing the books, but I've still not received any information on the books, basically.
So you are basically from which place?
I'm from Mumbai.
Okay. So you have placed the request for books, right?
Yes, yes. There was a link which was shared.
So I think you joined recently, no, last week only.
Yes, last week only I've joined.
So it will take some time to at least 15 days to get the books.
Okay.
So it will be under process, and maybe it would have also been dispatched, but it takes at least 10 to 15 days to reach our place.
No
So
problem.
just wait. Otherwise, we will again put a reminder call to them.
Sure.
And anyone else who have not received the book and
Sir,
who have already
I have not ordered the books because I had got some copies earlier
soft
from
copies.
somebody.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I think Naukar Mantra book is not there in this old edition collection that I got from somebody.
So you can order only Namokar Mantra also.
I will look at the list. Okay.
Yeah. So do you have anyone has the syllabus handy with them?
I've got the Naukar Mantra book, sir.
You have got the Naukar Mantra book, and it is along with the paper 1 only, no?
Yeah, I've got, I don't know about the syllabus, but I've got the full book of nearly 35 books I've got. 30 or 35. Yeah, the full set I've got, sir.
Okay. So I'll just check out Vitrag Vigyan 1 and Namokar Mantra, Namokar Ek, Namokar Maha Mantra, Ek Anushilan. So this is a small book. It consists of 7-8 stories and small stories, and this you should read by yourself, and this carries 20 marks and 70 marks will come from Vitrag Vigyan 1. Now I'll just give you one homework to write concept clarity paper 1, and in this concept clarity you have to summarize what you have read in the paper 1. So we have 8 chapters in paper in Vitrag Vigyan 1, and of course there is Namokar Mantra also. But for the purpose of concept clarity, we will just include Vitrag Vigyan 1, these 8 chapters. So you can summarize these 8 chapters, 2 pages to 6 pages is what you can write maximum. And after the 6th page, you have to write half a page on myth buster. And myth buster is about that key, what were your earlier belief, and after studying this paper 1 or the Vitrag Vigyan 1, what is the change in that belief? That you have to write in the myth buster. It can be half page or maximum 1 page, but half page we also do, but you must write this after the concept about the paper 1. Okay. So this is the homework, and you are being given 21 days. So today is what, 28th, right? So your last date for this will be 20th March. Okay. So before 20th March, everyone has to submit. You have the option to write. You can summarize into.
We have classes, no, sir, along with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Classes will go on as usual. And you have to do this homework. This is a homework for you. And why? What is the purpose of writing? Is that when you do a summary of the whole chapter, so when you want to revise, it becomes very easy. You can just have a glance on your notes, and you can revise those chapters. So this is basically the purpose. But I'm giving you the option. You need not write all the 8 chapters. If you feel that you want to write only on 4 chapters, you have the liberty to write on 4 chapters. If you feel you want to write 5 chapters, you can write 5, you can write 6, you can write 7, and you can write all the 8. I am giving you the choice, but the number of pages should be minimum 2 page, maximum 6 page. This is what you need to write, and this is for your own revision. And this is going to carry 30 marks, and whoever attempts this within the stipulated time, he will get full 30 marks. There is no checking, or we can cut any marks. Once you have submitted on time, you are going to get full 30 marks. If you delay after the stipulated time, then there will be some reduction in marks. So it is better to start right now, and you can start writing few pages every day. So maximum is 6 page, minimum is 2 page. You can just summarize any 4 chapters, 5 chapters, 6 chapters, whatever you feel like. I'm giving you all the options, because if you write all the 8 chapters, it will be a very brief introduction kind of thing. So I would give you liberty to go deep into each chapter, and you can go deep into any number of chapters you want from Vitrag Vigyan 1. So I'm giving you this choice, and the last date for this is 20th March. Okay.
So we submit on WhatsApp?
Yeah, then you have to submit on Moodle app, and these are all, we'll announce it in the group only once the Moodle app is set. I think they have already done everything, but I'll just check it out once more, and then I'll announce in the group. And our team leader will also show you how to upload on the app, Moodle app. Okay, so all the instructions will follow about the Moodle app shortly, within a day or two, and then you will come to know the whole process, how you can upload on the Moodle. And of course, you can take help of our team leader, Aditi ji also. So this is all about, and our time is also over. So
can I just summarize what you said?
Yeah.
That we have to write 6 pages of 2 to 6 pages of concept clarity, any
Right.
4 to 8 chapters of our choice. That will be for 30 marks.
Right.
And 1 page of Mythbuster.
That is also part of that only. So
Okay.
it's both together, it's 30 marks.
Got it.
Yeah.
And sir, what did you say about Namokar mantra, that we have to do self-study?
Yeah, that Namokar mantra you have to answer in objective when you take up the objectives after 6 months, maybe in July, right? So at that point of time, you will have questions from Namakar Mantra also.
So the Namokar Mantra book is in Hindi?
I think it is also in English.
Okay, I
have got Hindi.
Acha, Hindi only. I'll just check about that also. They were translating. Also, even if it is not printed, I will share the PDF copy
Yes.
of the English version.
Hmm.
Or you can check on our Google Drive. You know, all the books are there in the course material. One day I shared that link, so you can check there. I think.
Okay.
Or give me one day. I'll just check tomorrow. Yeah.
No problem. So you can do it next week also after you come back. Don't worry.
So tomorrow we are not taking the class. Anyway,
Okay.
you will need time to write on this. So, and I am still in Sikarji. So next week on Wednesday we will have our class, and the next class we'll do it on Friday. Only for the next week. So we'll have class on Wednesday and Friday for the next week, and then we'll switch back to our normal process of Tuesday and Wednesday. And the timing will be 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Wednesday, and Friday also 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Aditi ji, can you put all this message in the group tomorrow when you have time?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Yeah. So
About the
those
class timings for next week, right? And the summary of what preparation we have to do. For
and also the last date on that, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
20th March. Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll close for today. निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है। उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है। 9 बार नौकर मंत्र गिनेंगे। जय जिनेंद्र।